Okay, so the base is done. We've got our base, and we got the ships that are going to go on. It's going to light up, put a nice spotlight on the ship. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to the U.S.S. Enterprise, the NCC-1701. You can see the instructions are pretty straightforward. You get the saucer section, the halves of both port and starboard nacelles with the end caps, and a secondary hull with the nacelle pylons. You can see the deflector dish and the final assembly. So this is going to probably be the easiest one. You can see the decals where they're going to go and the ship. So go ahead and get this out of the packaging. You can see the Enterprise bridge, the saucer section, a primary hull. So first thing I'm going to do is we're going to take the pieces off of the tree. We'll clip them, and then we'll file them down if we need to. All right. The only thing we have left is a deflector dish. And you can see it's right there. You know what? I think I'm going to leave the deflector dish on the tree right now because we're going to paint that before we put it on. Or, excuse me, we're going to paint this area before we put the deflector dish on. Okay, so let's see. What am I going to use for the glue? I have the Plastruck bonding somewhere. You can see the Plastruck bonding works pretty well. Okay, so let's start putting the Enterprise together. We're going to start with part 1. Snap the upper half to the lower half. This seems pretty straightforward. And we still have to drill a hole in the bottom. Let me show you guys where she's going to go. Especially with the light, it should be nice. She's going to go just like that. All right, let's see about the paint. Let's mix this up. And again, this is the blue steel. All right, so why don't we start the paint? All right, so it has some time to dry, and I ended up putting another coat on. You can see the other coat did it justice. It looks a lot better with the other coat. You can see she's pretty cute. It's a little darker than I was hoping, despite mixing it with some white paint. But I think the paint job looks pretty good. So let's start doing the detail work. Let's see. I was using these for the base. And you know what? I think I'm going to see how these can work. We'll do the bridge. We'll do the sensor dome in white. Let's see if this is going to work. That looks pretty good. All right, let's do the sensor dome. All right, so we got the bridge and we got the sensor dome. Maybe we can do a little more up top. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's see. Let's see, do we have gold? Look, we actually do have gold. I was thinking of doing the deflector dish in this color. I don't know how that would look. Let's see, what else can we use? We can do the red for the Bassard collectors. There we are. All right, so what if we do a little dot for port and we'll do a green one for starboard. Just like that, a little beacon. And on the same token, we should do the beacons on the bottom too. All right, those are going to be white. And I want to put it right underneath the one that we had done for the top. So right about there. One there, and one on the opposite side. Here we go. And we'll do the inside of the starboard one. How about those little boxes on the sides? I think I'm going to put those silver as well. There we go. I think those look pretty good. Silver. And I'm going to put the turbo lift behind the bridge. Put that silver as well. All right, so let's see how this looks for the deflector dish. Oh, I think that looks pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the back of the deflector dish, and then tomorrow we'll do the front, and then we'll put it on. So let's give this a there. And tomorrow when it's dry, we'll take it off, we'll clean it up, and then we'll glue it on, and we'll touch up what needs to be touched up. All right, so I think that's everything for gold. I think that looks pretty good. We're going to leave it like that. Ah, look, there is a green. There we are. We've got the red and we've got the green. Okay, so I did a little bit of I got a little bit of an update to show you guys. I did a little bit of painting, and it had a chance to dry. You can see what we did, but I also did some detail paint, like the area behind the bridge in BC decks. I painted that the dark gray. The ends of the nacelle caps, the backs, you can see they're the dark gray, and we painted the little balls inside white. The little boxes that are on the ends, I didn't quite like them silver, so I put them gray. That's a little more accurate. You can see the Enterprise has like a blue on the saucer pylon in the front, and sadly that's the only blue that I had. It's a little bit dark, but it's going to have to suffice. You can see I did glue the deflector dish on, and I finished touching up the paint, and I painted the ring around the housing for the deflector dish. Let's see what else. I did the shuttle bay, the dark gray, the shuttle bay doors, that is. And we had done the lights last night, the sensor array, those two lines on the hull. And I put the little rings around behind where the Bussard collectors are, as well as those plates that are beneath the Bussard collectors. So basically, she's all set to put the decals on. But what I want to do instead right now is we're going to drill a little hole in the bottom so we can fit her onto that before we put the decals on. So when we're ready to put her on, what I'm going to do is we're going to use a little bit of glue, hot glue, and we'll permanently mount her, but I just want to see if she's going to fit. You guys can see she'll be a little more sturdy when the hot glue is set. So the hole is all set. She's all set to mount onto the pole, the little stand. So what I think we're going to do now is we're going to do the decals. And like I said, we're going to do a little bit of touch-up with the paint after. So let's get the decals out. It looks like we have the saucer pylons. This is the back of the dorsal. We got the sides of the secondary hull, the nacelles, under the saucer section, under the nacelles. This is for the back of the bridge. This is underneath the shuttle bay, under the ship. All right, let's get all these cut out. Yeah, it looks like that's all for the Enterprise. And that's for the refit. All right, what I like to do, well, I got the microsol and the microset. And I like to put the decals on the surface over here so they can absorb the water and we can get ready. So let's see, what do we start? Let's start from everything from the bottom. It looks like it's it, but all right. Let's put these in the water. What I like to do is I dip them in the water like that. And then I let them soak. Slowly let them absorb the water. If you leave them in the water, after a while when they get saturated, they kind of come off and they float around. That's not good. At least for this one, right off the bat. Look at that. Right off the bat, it's perfect. All right. Let's do the other one. And of course, the other one is going to go the opposite direction. So again, these decals are awesome. Like I said, maybe because the other ones were so old, but these are going on wonderfully. Look at that. This one is going to go right about here. And look at that, almost effortlessly. They're really going on well. Okay, a little bit of microset. There we are. Look at that. You've got those. All right, let's put a little bit of micro set on it. There we are. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, let's put a little bit of micro set on. All right. And I think it's going to be a good idea to clear coat and that'll lock everything in place, all the decals. You can see the side. All right, you guys can see that. All right, put some more of the micro set on the side. All right, so we've got I don't know if you guys can see all the decals that we're putting on. And bring out her tiny little detail. It's not quite holding. I wonder if I should put on a little bit of micro sol first. That'll probably soften it up. Yeah. Hopefully that'll help soften them up a little bit. You can see there. Might have to put more. But you can see. Hopefully this is showing up on camera. And it shows that the decals. All right. So while that's drying, why don't we go ahead and we can do the top parts now. Maybe putting a light on her, you can see her a little better. The registry markings, the decals. All right. Thinking we can do her dorsal stripe. We can do that first, if that's ready yet. Yep, that's ready. Let's see if you guys can see that. Gotta get some of the microsol. Using a lot more than I thought I would need. Trying to get these stickers to stay on. All right. So let's give that a chance to dry. And we'll see what that looks like. All right, let me give you a little tour of what we've done. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put those, we need to put those things on the top of the primary hull. You know, those little squares. Once she's mounted onto the base, we'll be able to do more of the micro sol and the micro set without having to hold her or place her anywhere. And let's see if the glue is almost ready. You can see. And when she's glued on, I'm going to do a little touching up on the bottom. All right, we don't need much. Just a bit. So just like that. And we got her tilted just a little bit. I like that. And the glue is going to solidify and harden. And we can light her up. Just like that. And let's see, the glue should have, yep, the glue is hardening. So that's nice. I like that. I like the little tilt. And what I'll do is I'll tilt the refit just a bit in the other direction, and we'll put the B right on top. I think I'm going to put one more coat of micro set and try to put it so that it molds to the model. And then, like I said, we're going to give it the whole thing a coat of clear coat. We'll do all the ships and we'll do the base. So let's switch over to the micro set. There we are. Okay. So that's how we're going to leave her. And when everything is dry and the microsol is set, eventually we're going to put the clear coat on. And that'll lock all of the decals into place. There. All right. So what are we going to do next? All right, we did the Enterprise NCC-1701, we did the decals. Next up, we're going to do the NCC-1701 refit. And then we'll do the decals. You can see there are a lot more decals. So I don't think it's going to be as easy putting the decals on the refit. Luckily, we've got the micro set and the micro sol. So my friends, I thank you for watching, and let's light her up. Let me put the light and see if putting the light out you can see it better. Let's see if we can get it darker. I know, she's so tiny. It's tough for me to get all the tiny little decals in place where they're supposed to be. And that, my friends, is the Enterprise. So we got the first ship mounted on the base and she's all set. So my friends, until we do the refit, thank you for watching and I'll see you real soon.